So today I'm going to talk about the ultimate baby stripper advice, or like the unspoken rules in stripping. This December will be my 3rd anniversary in this industry, so if that doesn't really give me any credibility, I don't really know what will. And I have danced in a few different cities, but cheers to stripping. Well, this is mainly for everybody actually, but things that, or mistakes that I have made that, you know, I see others make, and, you know, what I actually wish people would have told me sooner that would have made this job a whole lot easier for me. So I am going to tell y'all all about it. Anyways, before I get into it, you should know that every club is different. Every club has their own rules. You know, there are definitely unspoken like rules in this industry. Stripper etiquette, locker room etiquette, stage etiquette, VIP etiquette, all kinds of etiquette. I'm gonna separate this into sections. I'm gonna talk about the locker room, and then the stage, then the floor, you know, where like everyone sits and stuff, VIP rooms, and then at the end I'm talk a little bit about finance and taxes. First thing I'm going to say is that in almost every club there is kind of a little bit of a hierarchy, and in other words, it's kind of just like you're expected to kind of respect your elders, or, you know, the veterans, the girls that have been there for a while. And it's really important that you stay on their good side, because, you know, the veterans are tight with a lot of the customers, they're tight with the staff, the management. It's just kind of a respect thing, and if it comes down to it, if you get in a fight with like a veteran and it's just you as a baby stripper and then the veteran, the management is definitely going to choose the girl that's been there longer. So just know that, you know, there is a little bit of a hierarchy, you know, and as a baby stripper, because I've been a baby stripper in multiple different clubs, so I've been a baby stripper, or not a baby stripper, but I would say like a new dancer in that club, in like multiple clubs. So just know that, you know, as a new dancer, wherever you are, you know, remain respectful, be humble, stay on people's good sides. One thing I see a lot of baby strippers do is like, maybe they don't really know it at first, but, and I did it as a baby stripper, is I was like really loud, you know, I would like just talk really loud or whatever, you know, play shit on my phone that was like loud or whatever. And honestly, as like kind of a semi-veteran, it is really annoying. A lot of the girls there, they work their asses off, and the locker room is kind of like supposed to be a little bit more peaceful than the floor. So I would just say that, you know, try to remain under a good sound barrier. Try to be quiet just a little bit. You know, if you're gonna listen to something, please put your headphones in. It's just kind of like a respect thing. Hygiene, please be hygienic, you know, clean up after yourself. Don't clean yourself in front of other girls. Honestly, we don't really want to see that. I worked in a club where it's like all of us were really tight and like it didn't really bother us that much, but if you're in a club in a locker room with girls you don't know, just take that into the bathroom, and, you know, if you're gonna wipe yourself down, do it in the bathroom, because we don't really want to see it. So just that. Don't spread your shit everywhere. You know, there's only so little room in the locker room. You'll probably have your own locker, you'll get your own locker, or if there isn't a locker available to you, then you can ask management or the house mom to put your stuff in the in like the house mom's office or the management office. So, you know, keep your stuff together. Now, another thing is, because we spend a lot of time in the locker room, I've spent so many hours in the locker room, you know, making friends, talking to friends, all that kind of stuff. The things that I have seen and things that I have been through, to kind of remain to yourself, kind of keep to yourself when you're brand new, or if anything, you know, get on people's good side, just be polite, be nice. The thing is, you don't want to jump the gun with anyone too soon, because there are some girls out there that, you know, are gonna take advantage of you, or maybe they're just easily jealous and spiteful people. So just kind of keep to yourself until you really get to know a lot of people, and then recommend making friends. And a lot of the girls you know, if you remain in one club at one time, a lot of the girls that you become friends with down the line, those girls are going to help you make money, and y'all are going to help each other make money, whether it's in sections or you share regulars. Just be a nice person, be polite. Now, one thing I want to talk about is a lot of girls don't even realize when they do it. I made the mistake of doing it before, and in any profession, I would say that it's more on the professional side to not discuss your income with any of your coworkers. And this is a lot of things that a lot of customers do, is that a lot of customers ask me how much I make, and like I will tell them, you know, arrange numbers or whatever, but I really don't want to share my income, you know. And it's not like I think you're gonna report me for like tax fraud or anything, because I'm a taxpayer, I pay taxes correctly. It's kind of just, it's an etiquette thing. It's out of politeness and out of respect. Don't talk about your income with other people. And another reason why I don't share the money that I make at all, like, you know, back when I was a baby stripper or whatever, I wouldn't even realize I was doing it, but I would do things like I'd come in the locker room and like I'd say something, someone would say something back, and I'd be like, this guy just spent $300 on me or whatever. It's like, honestly, no one else wants to hear that. Don't talk about your income. Don't share dollar amounts. You know, if you make a lot of money off some person, keep it to yourself. And again, this is just professional etiquette. You just don't share your income with other people. Another reason is because, first of all, your bad night could be someone's really good night, and it all can be interpreted very wrong. I made the mistake of one time, like when I was like brand new or whatever, you know, I said something that wasn't very humble, and I think about it like a lot now, but I remember I was in the locker room and I was discussing like finances with another girl, and I was like, if I make less than X amount of dollars, it wasn't worth it to come in at all. And maybe like I thought that at the time, or maybe I still kind of think that. It's just that that's really impolite, and that can be like really impolite to other girls. It's still a good amount of money, you know, or whatever. It's a good rate of money. It sounded very cocky when I said it, and I wish I didn't do shit like that. And luckily I learned not to actually discuss money. And, you know, there are girls that I worked with that would be like, oh, you know, hey, Duchess, I made this much money tonight. How much money did you make? You know, to ask me how much money I made. And again, I don't want to share my money. I don't think anyone should share their money, share their income. You guys! And another thing is that one time, and we used to be good friends, she asked me like out of the blue, and she's like, how much do you think you make like on average per night or whatever? And I gave her a number. You know, it was just considered average to me, but I noticed that from that night forward, she became like one of my biggest haters, and it just kind of turned into this whole snowball effect. That's what I learned, is like I'm just now like afraid to share my income with anybody. Like I might tell my mom and like my very best friend from home. I'm just not going to discuss my money. So again, money talk, keep it to a minimum. Don't share your income unless you're like in a section or whatever and you're obviously making the same amount of money as someone else, which I'm going to get to in a second. Just don't talk about your money, okay? Because one, it sounds cocky. It doesn't matter how much money it is, it just sounds cocky. Two, one thing I've learned in this industry, and I mean just from generally knowing people, is that the people that talk about their money the most tend to be the most worried about their money, or tend to be the most insecure about their money. So just keep that in mind. Moving on to stage. Should I take another tequila shot? I think I should. Some clubs are different. Some clubs, your stage is like you go on a stage rotation and you'll do like 6 stages in a row. Other clubs are like you'll go on one stage like every 15 or 20 minutes or so. It just depends on the club. Number one with stage, be on time. and don't miss your stage. I've missed it, actually, I don't think I've actually ever missed a stage. Be on time to your stage. Try not to miss your stage because it does fuck with the whole lineup and the whole rotation. A lot of clubs will have like a fee if you miss stage, or you know, some clubs will just straight up fire you if you don't make it to stage. So just make sure that you make it to stage and you make it on time. And as soon as you get there, you're gonna be following another girl. This is, again, etiquette. If she leaves $1, even if it's $1 behind, pick it up and give it to her, or put it on her stage, or like put it in her pile or whatever, because picking up another girl's money, even if it's $1 and it's not yours, that's like roach behavior. So just don't do that shit. No dollars left behind. All right, do what you gotta do on stage. There really is no like bad etiquette for stage. You know, what you do on stage is what you do. When it comes to leaving your stage, like for the next girl or whatever, first it's like you gotta wait for the next girl to be there, because again, that's just how the rotation works. You have to wait for the other girl to come, so there'll be a girl on the first stage. When another girl is coming to her stage and you gotta go to the next stage, be speedy, be a little quick. My biggest pet peeve is when I am going on stage and the girl before has like not even realized that it's her time to get off or something, and she's still like dancing for a certain customer or whatever, or she's just taking fucking forever to pick up her money, and she's probably doing it on purpose or something. This fucks with my time on stage, and so now I have less time on stage, and it's just very annoying. So just be respectful, be quick when you're getting off stage, save up your dollars and just move to the next stage. If you're dancing with other girls, if it's you and another girl on stage, hi. If it's you and another girl on stage and you're doing tricks together and you're all like, you know, like this all over, then that money that you made on stage, you're gonna count it out after and then split it. If you're dancing on one side of the stage and another girl is dancing on the other side of the stage, you're basically just gonna pick up, you know, the money that's on your side. So, you know, there's like a little invisible line, and whatever money is on your side, that's the money that you keep. Otherwise, don't touch her money, because again, if you touch her money, that's like roach behavior again. Don't get lotion on the pole. So, I mean, even at the club that I work at, there are still girls that do this because they have no respect for other people. Don't wear lotion in the club, especially if you're gonna touch the pole at all, because the lotion gets on the pole and then I can't do pole tricks and that fucks with my money. So just no lotion on stage. The other thing is there's usually like alcohol spray and like a rag. Clean down the pole like before you use it. It's kind of like every time you go on stage, girls will do that first and then they'll start dancing, like a cleanliness thing. So, you know, wipe down the pole. Okay, next I want to talk about the floor, or, you know, hustling where customers sit. Unless a customer has asked for you, or their friend is like, here's $100, go give this person a dance, do not approach a customer if another dancer is sitting with them. Again, this is just common sense, but also etiquette. You know, it's like roach behavior. You're trying to take money from this other girl, and that's what she's gonna interpret it as. Don't approach customers if they're sitting with another girl. If a customer is at the stage and tipping, do not go up to that customer, because clearly that customer is spending time with another girl and giving her money, and as soon as you come up, you are interrupting that. That's roach behavior, and you are fucking with their money. A lot of baby strippers, I've seen a lot of new dancers do this before, and it happened to me. I didn't do it, but I saw it. Especially if you're friends with another one of the dancers, do not tell customers personal shit about your friend, okay? Now, an example of this is like, say you have a friend, a dancer, and she's married. If you're talking to a customer, don't be like, oh, hey, Victoria is married. Like, it shouldn't even come up in conversation. As far as anyone is concerned, every girl that works at the strip club is single, okay? Now, this happened to me because I was friends with someone, and there was a group of like my regulars that came in, and she was having an argument with one of them. My friend was having an argument with one of my regulars about, like, you know, boyfriends and stripping and stuff like that. And she said, oh, but Duchess has a boyfriend. Again, this was like 2 years ago. And that issue is resolved because a week later I did not have a boyfriend. That is like horrible fucking etiquette. That was a very nasty move on her part. Do not do that shit. So again, don't share personal info about other dancers, and especially about you. This varies by club, but I see it's like a very common baby stripper thing to do is spend too much time talking to one person. Like, I have done it before. It's like, you know, but this is a 40-minute conversation. At least they'll get $20 out of it at the end or whatever. No, because every song that goes by, that is $20 or $30 that you could be making. So I would say the general rule, I mean, again, it varies by club. If it's more of like a sit down and talk to people kind of club, if it's like a gentleman's club or something like that, I would say about 2 to 3 songs spent talking to the person before you go like, oh, hey, are you busy right now? I'd love to give you a dance. Now, at urban clubs, it's way more fast-paced, and it's just kind of like, hey, how are you? Like, are you busy right now? Do you want to dance? And then you give them a dance. So again, it's very fast-paced. Don't spend a lot of time talking to one person unless they're like actually like handing you money, and you know that they're just gonna spend a lot of money, because you do get paid to talk to people, a lot of different people. Some people don't act like it, but the general rule is that, you know, if a girl is spending time with you, that they will be paid. So that's that. Another thing I see a lot is if there are like spare dollars around on the floor. I'm not talking about sections or near the stage or something, but if there's just like dollars around, don't pick them up. It's kind of like an etiquette thing, but it's like, you know, it's not worth it to bend over and pick up $1. So I don't say that in like a cocky way. I just say that, like, you know, if anyone's gonna pick that up, you know, the staff are gonna pick it up at the end of the night and it's gonna be theirs or whatever. But, you know, it's just not worth it to like go around and pick, you know, little dollars up. Just don't do that. It just kind of, it just gives like desperate. You know, baby strippers don't realize it. I've made the mistake of not realizing it. But pimps, you know, you're not gonna know who's a pimp like right away. I'm gonna go over the basics of how you can spot a pimp. Okay, they usually come in by themselves or with 2 or 3 girls. They're usually dressed in like all designer, all jewelry, like all that kind of stuff. And they kind of stand at the back of the club or whatever, like, you know, against the wall. But they'll kind of be like, hey, Red, you know, come talk to me, like whatever, like, and they want you to come talk to them. You know, maybe they'll offer you a shot or whatever. They're just not great people. I've never met a pimp that I liked. They're actually very pointless. It doesn't matter what your hustle is. You do not need a pimp. They'll advertise themselves as like, oh, you know, I'm a king. You know, I'll elevate your finances. I'll help you with your money game. I'll help you realize your worth or whatever. But honestly, they do the exact opposite. All they do is take advantage of you, take your money. They do not care about you. They don't care about helping you. They don't care about you. All they want to do is be a pimp, have bitches, and take a cut of your money. They're not gonna do shit for you. They really aren't. Like, I hate them so much. They're always like, come be one of my queens, you know? I'm a king, or whatever. I'm like, you're not a king. You are a jester. You are a jester. You're a joker. Because the real kings in the strip club are the men that come in, you know, cause no problems, and throw hella money. Another thing pimps do is they're like, you know, you can make more money than this a night. You can make like an extra $1,000 or whatever. You could have $1,000 night every night. But it's like, the way that I think about it, and it's like the way that I interpret it, I have had $1,000 stage sets before. I've had people pay $500 for 30 minutes of like just talking to me. So it's kind of like, why would I go do that? Why would I go do something that I don't want to do for that same amount of money when I can make that money like on stage, you know? Or it's like I can make that money on stage, other girls can make that money on stage, so why should they go do that? You know, it doesn't make sense. There are girls that make hella money and they don't do anything, you know? And again, I don't care what your hustle is. I don't care what your hustle is. It's just kind of like you need to realize that pimps aren't going to do anything for you. They're really not. So they're usually attractive people, and that's kind of like the psychology behind it, is they're attractive people and they're meant to attract you. So you go and you talk to them or whatever, and then they come up with the like, oh, you know, how much money do you make a night? Like, and you know, do you want to make more? That is like your cue to leave and like don't talk to them. And that's the thing, is I see a lot of baby strippers talk to these people because they don't understand who they are or what they do, and they're there to prey on naive people. So again, just, you know, y'all don't need them, stay away from them. Okay, another thing is, and this is something that I have done before, is do not profile people based on their appearance. And I have done this before because like I have thought like bummy looking people were broke. I thought like snazzy ass looking people were rich. And I'm gonna tell you right now, some of the bummiest looking people have spent like the most money on me before. So again, just don't profile people like that, you know. And again, it kind of goes for all kinds of people, is, you know, I have thought people were pimps when they weren't, or I have thought people weren't pimps when they were. I thought people were broke when they were rich when they were broke. Like, again, you can't profile people based on their appearance. There's no way to tell really, like, you know, if this person gonna spend $500, this person gonna spend $10. It's just, there's really no way to tell. Now, I am gonna say that the one margin of people, the one little margin of people that I have consistently been correct with profiling, and it's no disrespect if you fit this profile, but older white men, most of them, 99% of the older white men I have talked to have been consistently rude, entitled, stingy, and closet pedophiles. And I'm gonna say this because when I was a new dancer, you know, I looked very young. I spoke very naively. A portion of my clientele base was older white men, and they liked me, and they would tell me that the reason they liked me was because, like, you know, I was younger and I was so pure. I was like unmarked, didn't have any tattoos, like, you know, I looked childlike and nubile. I reminded them of like their granddaughter or something, and it grossed me the fuck out. So I really have no interest in really like appealing to that demographic anymore. With like my tattoos or something, it's like now, you know, it's like I officially, you know, want to get not a lot of tattoos, but like I want to do like a tattoo sleeve or whatever. And I was hesitant before because I was like, what if I can't appeal to that demographic anymore? And honestly, I do not want to appeal to them. I don't have any interest in appealing to them because I want to be like, hey, I'm an adult, motherfucker. Like, you can't pretend that I'm a child, okay? Enough of this closet pedophilic bullshit. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to appeal to men's perverse like fantasies anymore. I'm just really not into that. It's like, and definitely with like, you know, in Oregon, when I first started dancing and when I was like newer, naive. I was always like worried about changing my appearance or whatever. Honestly, I didn't really have a thick skin at all. I was still very naive, and that was because, you know, I had regulars. It was like a smaller population, you know, a smaller demographic of people. Everybody knew me, I knew everybody, so it was kind of like, you know, I was comfortable. And definitely, like, since moving to Texas, I've developed a way thicker skin. I deal with like 50 to 100 new people a night. I'm not gonna put up with someone's bullshit. It's not worth it when I can make a lot of money without having to deal with certain people. You know what I mean? Just go back to the topic, is to not profile people, but also to, you know, kind of stand guard. Working in a bigger city and stuff, like, I deal with a lot more bullshit, honestly, because I don't know everybody. I want to acknowledge this next tip is, honestly, be a bitch when you have to be a bitch. Like, you know, baby strippers are so nice, and, you know, they put up with so much, and I put up with so much for so long. And it was kind of like, hey, like, I didn't need to put up with all that shit, you know? I am a bitch when I have to be a bitch. You know, a lot of it, and one demonstration is, you know, again, my house and fees equal about $150, so I pay the club about $150 to deal with people's bullshit a night, you know? And it's like, there are customers that come in and, you know, they spend like $20 at the door or whatever, and they're like, you know, I paid to be here, and like, this girl on stage won't even take her clothes off or whatever. And I'm like, motherfucker, this girl paid 5 times as much as you tonight to come here and work here. So y'all motherfuckers ain't even tipping. So do you really think you're like right in the situation? Hint, you aren't, okay? Again, there are like hella fucking people per night. So if one person is giving you some bullshit, move on to the next, you know? I get that it's probably a little bit harder in like a smaller club, but again, just don't fuck with people's bullshit. You do not have to fuck with people's bullshit. Now, sections, if you work in a club that has sections, if you're in a section, people are throwing money, and you're with like a couple different girls or whatever, put the work in. Everyone should be giving the same amount of effort, you know? So if 2 girls are dancing and one girl's like sitting down and drinking, they're not gonna share that money with that girl because what? She didn't do any work. So just know that, you know, if they're putting in effort, they're up there shaking their ass, you better get up and shake your ass. So put in the same effort as people. Now, when it comes to dividing money in a section, most of the time you're gonna count all that money together and you're gonna divide it by how many girls there are. But sometimes if it's like, if they start throwing money at different times, just whatever money that landed in your area is what you keep, you know? So that's all sections. Another thing is tip your staff, tip the waitresses, and you know, just the staff. They're gonna help you make money. It's, you know, it takes a while to get adjusted to each different club and like the honor system and, you know, tipping and all that, but just know that, you know, if you reward your staff, they're gonna reward you back. So tip your staff. When it comes to VIPs as a new dancer, it depends on different clubs and different customers. Some customers want dancing the whole time. Some customers just want to talk. Unless it is one of those clubs that are acknowledged by 99% of people as being a full service club. Most clubs aren't, but some clubs are. If it's a club that's kind of more known for dancing, you know, do not bring any extras in that club, because that's like the quickest way to have people not respect you. As soon as girls are doing extras in a dance club, they're lowering the cost and hiring the expectations for the other girls. So again, if it's a dance club, don't bring that shit in. You do not need to do any of that. Customers are gonna try to get you to do shit, to do extra shit. It's not worth it at all. Get your money up front. So if they start that bullshit, you can leave and be like, y'all, I'm not a prostitute, and get the fuck out of there. Now, the last thing I'm gonna talk about is finance. Make sure you track your money. Like, for the first year of me dancing, I didn't track shit. I didn't track shit at all. But just know that you should track what you come home with every single night, down to the dollar. And this is for like tax purposes. Definitely always pay your taxes in full, especially if you want to be a homeowner or you want to apply for other things down the line. It's important to do your taxes in full to report everything that you make. It's gonna be way easier for you in the long run. Another thing is, every time you buy outfits or shoes or makeup or skincare, or you have hair appointments, tanning, plastic surgery, anything like that, all of that under that umbrella, that can all be reported as like your business supplies or your business expenses. So just make sure that you keep track of it. Take pictures of receipts. Again, and when it comes time to do your taxes, you can all write that stuff off. And another thing is, obviously pay your bills, but invest your money. For the greater portion of my life, I was taught that saving money made me money. But honestly, saving money does not make you rich. Investing your money makes you rich. So, you know, take time to learn the stock market, to learn about cryptocurrency, to learn about Roth IRAs, all of that. It's important to know. Invest your money. Invest in things that appreciate in value, that don't depreciate in value, aka like designer stuff or cars. Spend money on whatever you want. You only live once. I've had some pretty hefty expenses in the past and I don't regret it at all, okay? Just make sure that you have leftover money to invest in. Invest your money. Now, the last point I'm gonna make in this, sooner or later, every stripper goes through a financial awakening, and some girls do it before they get into this industry. Sometimes it never comes to them. Sometimes it comes years down the line. It's important to have an end in mind, and I'm not on some woke shit right now. I just genuinely mean, like, stripping can make hella money, and you can use that money to propel you into other endeavors, you know? Use that money to fund your own business. Stripping isn't the end game. It should help you realize that it is possible to make hella money in this world, not just through stripping, but through other things. You can become wealthy. You can create generational wealth. And it might not come through stripping, but it can come through other business endeavors. So that stripping can help you get to. That pretty much sums up my video. If you have anything you want to add, please comment down below. Please subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you for watching the Stripper Code. I'm Duchess. I'll see y'all next time, whenever that may be. Alright. Okay, bye.